So a lot of people have probably come here looking for an explanation for the thumbnail for the title of this video, which is Trump connected to Scientology? It's not clickbait, I promise. You guys may have heard of Leah Remini. Leah Remini, she was on the TV show King of Queens. She's actually, I'd call her a B-list celebrity. She's pretty big. She's been in some big stuff. And she created this TV show on A&E called Scientology and the Aftermath, I think. She used to be a Scientologist. She left the religion, or if you'd call it a religion, I would debate that. But anyway, she left the group, and she created a TV show on A&E all about how messed up Scientology is. And I think that's really fantastic. That's absolutely amazing. Well, she recently, I just found this article that says, it's called Leah Remini calls out Trump administration's ties to Scientologists. This is a picture of Leah Remini, by the way. This is on the website that I was reading from. So let's give this article a read and see what it has to say. For years, Leah Remini has listened to the horror stories of people who've escaped the clutches of Scientology, and she has had it. This is a quote. "What I care about is justice for the victims of Scientology," the actress and whistleblower tells me. "We need to start raiding Scientology's folders, and we need to start taking action. Enough of the Twitter bullshit. Now it's time to get serious." On August 26th, A&E will air the final episode of the Emmy-winning series Leah Remini, Scientology and the Aftermath. It's a 2-hour special focusing on the rape allegations against actor and Scientologist Danny Masterson, and features 2 of that 70s show's stars' accusers, telling all to ex-Scientologist Remini and Mike Rinder. The episode was supposed to air in February, but was put on hold by the network following an elaborate smear campaign conducted by the Church of Scientology. Recently, 4 of Masterson's sexual assault accusers have filed a civil suit against Masterson, the Church of Scientology, and its leader, David Miscavige, alleging stalking, physical invasion of privacy, and a conspiracy to obstruct justice. According to reporter Yashar Ali, Masterson has called the suit beyond ridiculous. Of course he has. Scientology is famous for this, honestly. They're famous for being aggressive and vicious and take no prisoners. It's called fair game, the fair game doctrine. If somebody is against your group for any reason at all, or no reason, you're justified in doing absolutely anything, whatever it takes to bring them down, whatever it takes. This goes on to say, it's important that people hear what goes on in Scientology when a crime is committed and how the victims are blamed for what happens to them, says Remini. That's Scientology technology to say, when you've raped somebody in a former life, or what have you done to receive that? It's never, wow, you've been raped or molested, we need to contact the police. You're not allowed to report crimes outside of Scientology. If you do, you're labeled an enemy, and they'll come after you and try to destroy your life. Sounds a lot like Jehovah's Witnesses and the Catholic Church and Mormons. Well, the Catholic Church to a more limited extent. The Church of Scientology issued a rambling statement to the Daily Beast, branding Remini dangerously unhinged, as they've done in the past. Yeah, they tend to do that. I'd love to see what they said. It continues on to say, in a wide-ranging conversation with the Daily Beast, Remini opened up about the end of Scientology and the aftermath, her frustration over shelved episodes, and what's next in her quest to expose an organization she calls a dangerous cult that's hurting people. Then they said, we've reported on this a bit as well, but there's this weird trend of people with strong ties to Scientology getting very close to members of the Trump administration. Then Leah responds, very close? Very close? No close. Close, babe. Close. Donald Trump has tweeted about Scientologist singer Joy Villa, a person who's infiltrated the White House. Yes. Then they said, there's also Greg Mitchell, a lobbyist who's done a lot of work for the Church of Scientology, who met with Vice President Mike Pence. And there were 2 big Scientology donors in Jim Bridgeforth and Tom Cummins of America, Power, and Gas, who recently met and posed for pictures with President Trump. She said, yep, they should do some research. There's a policy in Scientology dealing with the public image. This is also under the fair game stuff, and it's to infiltrate real churches, control governments, control government agencies. This is all part of the policy of Scientology, which is to infiltrate, to take over. They have no idea what they're dealing with, and I'm disappointed that they're not seeing through Joy Villa's bullshit. You only need to look at her social media to see whose political side she was on before. She wears that Trump dress, and then she gets her failing career going. This is all part of the game of Scientology. Scientology hopes to take over our government. The interviewer asked, you also have people out there like Greta Van Susteren. I don't think a lot of people know that she's a high-ranking Scientologist, and she's out there conducting sit-down interviews with President Trump and other high-ranking officials in his administration. Leah said, big time. She's a big-time donor to Scientology, and she's OT 8. Holy hell. That's the top of the Scientology bridge. Do you know how much it costs to get that high? That's nuts. That is crazy. OT 8. That is as high as you can get. You cannot be higher. That's like the same level that the owner is at. That's like the level that David Miscavige is at. That is absolutely nuts. I had no idea that that was the case. So the point is that Scientology is actively attempting to infiltrate the White House, the government. That does not surprise me at all. Are they going to be successful? Well, they've been plenty successful in getting celebrities to join Scientology to an alarming extent. And they have been successful. There are people surrounded with, people who have surrounded Trump who are Scientologists. That is their stated goal. So it's pretty concerning. It's something that we should be aware of. If you like what I do and you want to make sure I can continue to do it, you can support me in a few ways. First, you can support me on Patreon. That's probably the best way. But if you want to get something back for your support, you can check out my Teespring. I'm trying to make a shirt design for every cult I've covered. I haven't gotten every one, but I'm working on it. So check it out and see if your cult is up there. Second, you can support me by checking out my game shop. I sell controller, cartridge, and game box stands for every system from the original Nintendo and Sega Game Gear to the Xbox One and Nintendo Switch. So give that a look too. And finally, if you want to support me in some way other than monetarily, you can check out my other YouTube channels. I have a retro game channel where I answer questions like, why does Shy Guy have a mask? And why are CRT TVs the best way to play retro games? I also have the podcast where I talk about stuff I don't feel I can say on a monetized channel. And finally, I have my main channel where I talk about cults. I wish I didn't have to worry about dancing around subjects carefully in the first place, but I chose to do this as a full-time job. So unfortunately, I rely on YouTube's AdSense and on the support of patrons to continue doing the work I do. Anyways, check me out in all those places if you haven't already. Thanks for listening, guys.